Far to the west, upon an island, isolated from the rest of Glinior, two great creatures vie for control of a powerful obelisk, but without a clear victor. Recently, a curious man on a strange pilgrimage constructed the island and, for his own obscure purposes, opened the field of battle to any who wished to pit their mettle, be it against the island's smaller creatures, or adventurers, even the mighty avatars themselves. Perhaps you are fit to be crowned the ultimate victor. Soul Wars, originally released in February 2009, roughly 18 months after the 2007 source code, back upon which Old School was built. Does this minigame have a place in Old School RuneScape today? I'm here, boys and girls, to help you find out if there's a place for this minigame of old in this game we call Old School RuneScape. Let's find out together, shall we? Alrighty, boys and girls, welcome to Old School RuneScape. We've got some stuff to talk about today. I'm a little behind on this, a few days, I know. Apologies, I've been swamped with everything, but it's, you know, real late in the morning. I've got a lot to do to catch up on. Let's get into this video, boys and girls. The minigame combined PvM with PvP, so that's interesting already. You already know me, not a huge PvPer at all in this game. I'm all about the PvM. So this sounds kind of like, again, you'll have to forgive me because I'm very, not very well versed in what this minigame is, because I don't remember ever playing it back in the vanilla game. I never really did that much back in Old School. But there's two teams. It sounds almost like League, where you're fighting, or you know, a MOBA type thing where you're fighting other players, but also like their mobs. So you're fighting to get their soul fragments, and obviously it's the soul obelisk to weaken it, or like, you know, their main tower, to ultimately defeat each other's avatars through combat or mobs. They started talking about this a long time ago, but you know, with the pandemic and everything else getting delayed, you never really know what Jagex is gonna do, but everyone was all about this. This is apparently a very big deal. And we're going to see why. Now, there's obviously a lot of things they had to change up here to keep things fresh, because obviously we don't want this to turn back into RuneScape 3 or the live game. So they've made a lot of noticeable changes, or, you know, that they're proposing to do rather, to keep the nostalgia fresh and to make sure that this doesn't you know, go off the rails, and because there's a lot of things they can't offer. Obviously, there's no summoning in Old School now. Obviously, there's none of that stuff. So, they've had to change a lot of things, including the rewards. Some of the proposed changes for Soul Wars, if it comes to Old School, because again, this isn't 100% guaranteed, but I have a pretty strong feeling all of these things are going to pass the poll. They've changed the total amount of games running at a time. Apparently, they would get kind of backed up in the previous game, so now they're going to be allowing multiple games to run concurrently, which should make it easier to find a game overall. Apparently botting it was a big deal. Botting is a big deal in everything in RuneScape, unfortunately. So they're proposing to add entry-level requirements to mitigate some of the botting. And if you come down here really quickly, you can see some of the requirements. If I hold on, here we go. So now, apparently, it used to be free to play, or you know, not free to play, but you could just hop in the world, join the game, now go play. But now you're going to have at least a total level of 500, which is very doable, especially if you're a member. 40 combat level, again, very doable. This shouldn't take very long at all. And you'll need a membership. So this is not going to be a free-to-play activity. You're going to need a membership, obviously, to play. Kind of seen that coming, considering you're going to need a membership to play mostly anything. But get Twitch Prime, you'll get a free month, or a free week, I guess. So bully. So that's cool, but because botting is a very real problem, and any steps to take care of that, I'm all about. You know, I just don't want botters to take over more than they already have, you know? So I'm all about anything Jagex can do to help prevent that in any way possible. So that's great. Another thing they've done to kind of help that is to they're only going to have Soul Wars on a small number of worlds. So I'm assuming similar to like Last Man Standing, you have to be on a Last Man Standing world to be able to actually play Last Man Standing, similar with Soul Wars. Dope. They're going to implement an upper cap of 60 players per team. So that's going to be huge, dude, because, like, think about, like, Castle Wars or something like that. You don't have 60 players. Now, granted, Castle Wars is semi-dead content for the most part, so there's not ever really 60 players on a team. But just think about how massive a 60 team, that's like pest control level of team, you know? That's huge. That's a huge team. So I'm trying to think of how long these games are going to take, which kind of takes me down to, right here, actually. Soul Wars games are now going to last a total of 10 minutes. Apparently, they used to last 20 minutes, which is just freaking insanity. But this kind of makes me worry a little bit, because if you think about, like, a fishing trawler, for example, those minigames are 10 minutes long. Now, granted, fishing trawler is garbage because it's 10 minutes of standing there like a jackass, just fixing a hole in the wall over and over again. So, I don't know what happened to my freaking game. Sorry about that. We're still here. Didn't die. That's good, because I'm on my hardcore Iron Man in a very dangerous area. But that's cool. Hopefully the game is fun. Like I said, I never really played it that much, so I'm not sure what to expect. However, it sounds like it's going to be action-packed. So if it's 10 minutes long, there is a mercy kill, though, or a mercy rule, rather. If a team reaches a total of 10 avatar kills, the game ends early. So there is a back way out of the 10-minute time limit per game. So that's dope. I like that. The game will end early if one team's player count drops below 50% of what it began with. What the hell that means? No idea. But in the original Soul Wars, there was one exit point for the team graveyard. There's now going to be 3 different exit points, making it harder to camp opposing players. I hate a camper. Get a camper out of my game. What is this game going to be, dude? Both teams can, but the non-controlling team will get only one, so you have to actually be participating, similar to Pest Control, how they added that, you know, the slider that was like your participation. That's going to be in this one, it sounds like. So you're going to have to actually try. Probably another way to kind of mitigate botting. I get it, bro. I get it. So Slayer was central to the gameplay of the original minigame. So it sounds like it really does combine a lot of PvMing. I'm trying to think of Soul Wars. See, what I keep thinking of is Stealing Creation. You guys remember Stealing Creation? It was like the, it introduced like a whole bunch of new tools, like a clay thing. I don't remember. It's like the last little bit of my RuneScape memory. I remember Stealing Creation. It had like a pickaxe that would like transform into like another thing. But I don't think that's what Soul Wars is. That was Stealing Creation. Again, I'm very rusty with what this Soul Wars minigame was, because I don't remember much about it. I was very young at this point in time of RuneScape. But there was a Slayer level requirement to damage avatars. But now they're replacing that with a general damage reduction mechanic. And all damage dealt is initially going to be reduced by 100%, making them immune. And then as you use soul fragments on the soul obelisk, you'll begin to do more damage. NPCs are no longer going to be Slayer creatures, and Slayer requirements have been completely removed. As such, Slayer XP is no longer going to be part of the minigame, and they just completely removed it. They've offered a host of rewards, and obviously, like I said earlier, a lot of them aren't going to be fit for old school as it is now, like Slayer XP, summoning charms, and multiple pets, because, you know, there aren't that in the game anymore. So they're going to be offering a whole slew of different rewards and an entirely new way of rewarding players with Zeal, which I thought at first was going to be like similar to pest control stuff, but apparently that's not the case. Like I said, you'll have to forgive my ignorance with Soul Wars because I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm just excited to be about it now because it sounds like it's going to be a big deal. So I'm hype about that. Super hype about that. I don't know what to expect really. I was actually a little confused about when I was reading this news post because I thought at first it was already out. And I was like, wait, they didn't propose it, but if you come over here, or, you know, not propose, but poll. But see, it said right here, it threw me off because it's like, as soon as I can, hold on, sorry. A quick guide to playing Soul Wars. Log into a dedicated Soul Wars world. Okay. Speak to Nomad to begin complete Soul Wars. Sick, dude. Enter a raiding room. Once you're in the minigame, you can fight NPCs, players, or the opposing team's avatar. Be sure to keep your activity bar up. Everything I just said earlier. Finish the game to be rewarded with Zeal and Zeal tokens, which can be used to purchase rewards. Sick. And then it says, accessing Soul Wars. Takes place on an unnamed island near the Feldet Hills. So here's the map of it. So already I'm like, oh, they already have it planned out. You can access it via a portal in Edgeville, Alternatively, you'll be able to use a minigame teleport or a second portal in the Ferox Enclave. So here I am, like a just absolute moron, in the Ferox Enclave, looking for the Soul Wars portal, but it's not here. Because it's not in the game yet. I'm just a big old moron. But I seen that in the news post, I'm like, oh, how did this get past me? How did I not see that this was already in the game? But they're just telling you how it's going to be when it's in the game. You get into the game of Soul Wars by doing any one of those activities or any one of those ways I mentioned earlier. They give you the prereqs. You can access the Soul Wars Island on any member's world, but you'll only be able to enter a waiting room and play the minigame on the designated world, like I said earlier, very similarly to Last Man Standing. There are 2 waiting rooms. It's going to be a blue team and a red team. RVB, anyone? Fellow hip, I get the reference. If one of the waiting rooms is fewer than 60 players, the number of players pulled from each waiting room will match the count of the weaker waiting room. So it's going to kind of try to balance out teams, which I'm all about. I like a fair game, Jagex. Give me a fair game. Playing Soul Wars. So once the game begins, both teams have the same objective. Kill the opposing team's avatar as many times as possible before the end. Sounds very similar to a MOBA like I was stating earlier. I've never been a big fan of that kind of gameplay. However, I'm interested to see how RuneScape does it. Or I guess how Jagex does it rather. So here, oh, look at these guys. These guys look actually pretty cool. Avatar of Destruction and an Avatar of Creation. So I'm going to say this is the red team's avatar, this is the blue team's avatar. Upon dying, an avatar will respawn after 20 seconds and will respawn with 100% damage reduction restored. So a sort of buffer, I suppose, to kind of not let your other team completely just steamroll you, you know. But each team's going to have a base located on opposite sides of the map, obviously, like we just saw up here. Here's going to be, let's see if we can see the bases here. Here's the Soul Obelisk in the middle. Oh, wait, the teams are right next to each other? So they're going to come out like these little sides right here. That's wild. Okay, so that's going to be interesting. And basically, you're going to just be trying to build up supplies and everything, it sounds like, to get on the Soul Obelisk, get soul fragments, and damage each other's avatar. Soul fragments can be gathered by killing various NPCs found within the Soul Wars, so similar to mobs. Stronger NPCs drop more fragments. If a player is killed, they'll drop all the soul fragments. I'm assuming this is going to be a safe minigame. I'm assuming. Perhaps that's ignorant of me, because what do I know? As stated earlier, I know nothing. I know nothing, but Treasure Chest Man here seems to think otherwise. How do I get this money sign shield, first of all, Jagex? But anyway, that's for another video. The rewards. That's what I want to know about. Give me the rewards. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. A lot of these games reward players with special currency. In Soul Wars' case is the Zeal. At the end of each player's game, all players will be rewarded with Zeal based on participation. Participation, you hear that? No breathing. I don't give a frick if you're not participating. Players who exit Soul Wars early will not receive any Zeal. Rage quitters, I see you out there. You gotta participate. An activity bar will be shown on screen. Failure to participate in the game will cause the activity bar to drop to 0. Once then, it'll never go up again, dude. So very similar to Pest Control. In the original version of Soul Wars, the amount of Zeal rewarded deferred? Depending on only whether players won or lost. So now, even if you're just similar to Last Man Standing, as long as you get a kill, then you're participating, you'll get points. Killing opposing players, healing fellow team members, healers, I see you out there. Burying bones? If your team's avatar is at maximum damage reduction, then no contributors is counted. Sacrificing soul fragments to the Soul Obelisk, dealing damage to the avatar, and capturing graveyards or the Soul Obelisk. So there's a lot of different ways to get points in this. So that's going to be hype, man. The following contribute to a player's activity bar but will not be rewarded with Zeal. So killing NPCs and destroying barricades will raise your activity so you're not, kicked out of the game, but you're not going to get any points for that because they're probably very minute tasks. So you're going to want to make sure to try to stay up in this area, killing fools and healing people, to stay up in the, the point earning phase. So I'm wondering if there's like a limit to how many points you can earn per game. Like, what if you just stand around and heal your whole team the whole game? Are you going to be rewarded with hella more points than like people that were just killing fools? I don't know. I don't know, bro. But here we go. We get Zeal and Zeal token values in the shop. The shop can be accessed on any member's world, even if it isn't a Soul Worlds enabled world. So you can purchase experience similar to Pest Control again. I'm assuming this is probably going to be a waste of points. Buying 10 lots in one go is no different to buying, so there's no bonus. XP rates will be compared to Pest Control. I kind of figured. Imbue. So this is interesting. Players will be able to use Zeal tokens to imbue specific items, mainly rings, and improve their effects. So I'm, yep, just like Nightmare Zone. However, to prevent a player buying them at one shop and selling them to the other, they will be in separate items. Imbues will be priced so to ensure they take a similar amount of time to earn in both minigames. So, Nightmare Zone imbues won't change, obviously, in any way. Does that mean that getting imbues... get out of here, Freaky Forrester. Does that mean that getting imbues is going to be faster now? It says in the patch notes that it's going to be similar to the amount of time it takes to get them in, like, Nightmare Zone. But I hate Nightmare Zone. I hate it. It's the most boring thing ever. So the opportunity to, or the chance rather, to get them in a different way, similar to how we have Mahogany Homes now with construction, it's a more fun way to get, excuse me, to get these points or these imbues. So that's kind of cool because I need those imbues, even though I don't have any of the rings yet. Because you know, a hardcore Iron Man, a soul cape. Players will be able to buy a soul cape. It will look like the one worn during the minigame. It can be freely switched between blue and red. It will require level 70 prayer? A +8 prayer bonus? That sounds broken, bro. What else gives you a +8 prayer bonus? That's insanity. That sounds really good. An ectoplasmatter. Zeal tokens can be spent on the exit when carried in the inventory. I don't know, grant prayer experience whenever ghostly creatures are killed. The XP scale will give in based upon how many hit points the creature has. Wow, that sounds pretty cool. So when you're killing like demons, when they drop ash, you know, you think that'll count? That would be what I would care about most, because I'm never killing ghostly creatures, but I'm killing greater demons and black demons all the time. Lucky Dip. This will give a random item from the Soul Wars loot table. And now this is what I'm most curious about, an avatar pet. Whenever buying a Lucky Dip, there's a rare chance that the item given will be an avatar pet. This will work like all other pets can be free. So you can buy a pet. So it's kind of like the gamble from Barbarian Assault, or when you're like trading in your fire cape for a chance at Jad. You can buy this Lucky Dip thing, and it has a chance to give you any item from the Soul Wars loot table, or a chance for this pet. So that's interesting. I'm super intrigued to see what you guys think about Soul Wars and all of the proposed content coming. Like I said, I never really was too into the scene, so hopefully this can bring me into it and I can get like a whole new slew of things that I just can never do because I'll never have time. But let me know. That tree was blocking me the whole time. Ruined my shot. Let me know what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe if you want. We're smashing goals, we're hitting milestones, and it's all thanks to you guys, so thank you for all the support. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. But until then, boys and girls, bye!